Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. I hope you're doing fine, inshallah. As I said, I will be going live, inshallah. And now we're here. I just wanted to update you regarding my campaign that we did for Beirut. Alhamdulillah, you guys have been so generous. We've reached 27% of the campaign. So alhamdulillah, I'm really happy for that. And I'm always glad to be involving you guys, to be part of the work that we're trying to do, inshallah. So, and again, as I always say, I feel that my Instagram, my social media gets more meaningful when we do these things together. And not just like an artist-fan relationship, whatever, So, yeah. And as I mentioned, I will be inviting my dear friend, Richard Whitehead. And for you who don't know who Richard Whitehead is all I can say before what he has accomplished. What I can say, this man is just a human. I mean, he's just like an amazing human being, amazing soul. You just have to get to know him to understand what I mean. So that's why I'm gonna bring him on now, inshallah, and so you can get to know him a little bit, and he can tell us a little bit about his story. And a couple of days ago, he just texted me out of nowhere and just felt the love and need to help, the people in Lebanon. So I was so happy for that and appreciate it a lot. So inshallah, I'm going to bring him on now, and then we're going to have chit chat, and then, yeah, that's it, inshallah. Maybe you can leave also some questions in the comment fields, and maybe we can have some, quick Q&A. If we see something there. But let's invite my brother Richard. Let's see if he's on. Here we go. Here we go. Waiting for Richard Whitehead to connect. Here we go. What's up?
Right. How are you?
My dear brother Richard, how are you, man?
You're so busy. You're still in the car. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm in the car now. I'm actually busy going to the gym now. So I'm going for my jiu-jitsu class in a bit. So
healthy, and that's really good to see.
Sorry?
You're looking really fit and healthy.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Likewise. I'm inspired by you, brother.
It's always good to chat, even though what we're going to be talking about today is
definitely
obviously really, really tragic. But we can all come together and support people that are obviously less fortunate than ourselves, and it's really important. It's really important that we do obviously reach out and help other people.
Yeah, my brother Richard, before we start talking about anything, I just want, would you mind if you can just just a couple of meanings, introduce who you are to the followers, to the people who don't know who you are?
Okay, so I'm Richard Whitehead, and I've been competing in athletics, in Paralympic athletics, for around 10 years. That's actually me in the background, winning in London.
Yes.
The big funds out, and my running vest from London. So as you can see from the picture, that I actually wear running prosthetics, and that's how I actually get around. But that also gives me a great platform to hopefully not just inspire, but also just talk to people about the benefits of supporting people that are less fortunate than ourselves.
Yes.
And that's how we obviously work together with, first of all, with One Family, and working with the refugees in Syria and Jordan and Turkey, etc. And being from Lebanon yourself, and I've worked and raced in Lebanon a lot. I think it's really important that athletes, public figures, musicians. I don't know if I know any. Do I know any musicians? I don't know if I know any.
I'm sure you know. You know what I'm here.
That obviously we all come together and support each other.
Yes.
And through para athletics and through sport, it's given me the insight to know that sport's great, and you see the athlete or the person winning or doing very well, but it's what happens after is really important.
Yes.
And for me, that's supporting people that are disengaged from society or economically really struggling, and the opportunity for us to reach out and support is something that we all need to kind of grip with both hands and
absolutely
support other people. And I think when we've worked together, we've we've found that common ground, haven't we? That we want to not just support people, but also educate those that don't understand about what's actually going on all over the world.
Yeah.
And I think social media is great because it gives you a platform to reach out to those all over the world.
Yes. 100%.
The only problem I find with social media is that it happens, and then we see the tragic moments, or we see the inspiration, and then something else replaces it very quickly, and we forget.
Yes, 100%.
I think what we need to have is we need to have calls for action. We need to stand together and really support those that need it at times of crisis.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's me. I just run a little bit.
That's you. That was great, man. That's beautiful, beautiful words, you know, from beautiful human being. I always say you're just such a human, like a beautiful human soul, you know. And I'm just so grateful that I've, you know, got to know you. I will never forget the first time we met. It was in London, and I remember we were talking and stuff. And I asked you, like, where do you find your inspiration? Where do you find your motivation, your drive, you know, to do these charitable works, you know, that you do? And I can never forget that you said something like, we have to be grateful for what we have, and you know, and think about the people who are less fortunate. You know, and that's like,
it's really important.
To me, that was like so inspiring to hear from you, brother. It's amazing, you know.
And I think likewise, when we were chatting about how you give your time for those causes that are close to your heart, but also for people that have those visions to help those that are less fortunate. I think that really inspired me to think that what I'm doing is the right thing.
I'm so happy to hear that. And exactly what you said earlier regarding, you know, I feel that, I always feel that, and I feel, to be honest, you know, people who know me, and I was speaking to one of my friends yesterday, I really feel bad about like having this position and knowing that I can do so much more good, but I don't do that, you know. So
I think you do. I think you do. It's not forcing it. I think it's just being yourself.
Yeah.
And those that are around
but
you,
now I'm so happy, you know, that. Yeah. So basically, like, you know, just being that famous personality comes with a great responsibility, and exactly what you were saying. I always try to, you know, give out this message to people who have a lot of followers, who are influencers, who are, you know, YouTubers, who are like, you know, whatever you have. When you have followers, you have a great responsibility, and I'm so happy, you know, that. You know, we have great people around us that pushes us to do, you know, do these things, and you know, just advise us and keeps us grounded, you know.
Yeah.
And
remembering where home is as well, and remembering what helped us get to where we are, which is really important. And not thinking that those people aren't important. I think it's really important to support those around us that help us for that success. And success does look like lots of different things.
Definitely.
It's not all about shiny gold medals, right?
Definitely. Wow. That's a good thing, man.
It's not all about shiny gold medals. It's about making people happy and supporting those people that are having really tough times, whether it's through mental health, whether it's through a conflict, whether you're a refugee, whether you're displaced, whether you need some financial support or just some positive words of advice. It's really important that you're able to give those.
No, it's exactly.
And obviously we've got that connection as well with where you're from, obviously Lebanon and Beirut, and when we hear about tragedies, especially on the news, you see a snapshot of that city or that culture or that country. And for me, I've been to Beirut, I've been to Lebanon many times and raced there, and the people that are there are very friendly, very resilient, very honest and truthful, and the food's amazing, the culture's infectious, and it's something that I when I saw the tragedy, it made me think this is a call to action. It's a real time for me to support those in any way that I could. So hence the reason why we chatted. And
absolutely. And that's a great thing, you know. I appreciate it a lot. Like I think it was 2 days ago, 3 days ago, when you just texted me out of nowhere and told me, Maher, I would love to help and, you know, do whatever I can do to support. And then I told you that I have an ongoing campaign. Would you like to do something new, or you want to jump on that? And you said, let's just support that and jump on the current one. And, you know, I really appreciate that, you know, help that you put into, and the drive that you have inside of you to do good and help people, you know, and appreciate like where you are, and know that where you are is also comes with a responsibility, you know. And I just love that about you, and it inspires me a lot. And you know, you said something else about, you know, like usually when we hear things on the news, we see something like this, for example, the tragedy in Beirut. It happens for 1-2 days, you hear about it and read about it, and all of a sudden, as you said, it gets replaced by something else and it's gone.
Something else.
You know, my mother, you know, she lives neighbor. She's like my neighbor basically. So when I go into her TV is 24 hours live, like news from Beirut, and you can see the problem. I mean, the chaos that's still over there. And you see the people like getting interviewed, talking about, you know, like you know, she told me about a story that there was a man. He had 4 daughters, you know, and his wife. So his wife and 2 daughters died in that tragedy. And I think it's impossible to even imagine, you know,
You've got children like me as well, haven't you? So
yes, exactly. That's the thing. Like, you think it could have been me. It couldn't be you. It couldn't be anyone who's watching right now, you know. Like anywhere, even in the most safe place in the world, like Sweden, London, or whatever, you know, anything can happen, whatever. You know, so this is, you know, so it's great that you and me, we get together and raise this awareness, keep talking about what's going on in the world, you know, and even though you know, I mean, exactly what you say. I love what you say. Like, some new things comes and replace, you know, something that's old, but it's not actually old. It's still going on.
No,
it's still, there's so many places in the world.
It's still happening now.
Yes.
Hundreds
like
of thousands
people,
of
there's
people
so many
displaced.
stories. So many stories like these, like this family that lost, you know, half of the family was gone. They're still like, they cannot find the remains of and the bodies of a lot of, you know, people and family members.
And do you,
know, so
do you when you're writing your music and you're producing, does that influence your material that you?
Absolutely.
Because I know from obviously talking when we're in Turkey that you said your influences are very much about what you're feeling or what you're seeing in the moment. So do you get that real strong feeling about?
Definitely. You know, this is what I said, that, you know, just by living where I live and where I grew up, and you know, the circumstances that I live into right now and everything, I just feel so fortunate, you know, but at the same time I feel so bad because, you know, like, I just feel that we could do so much more, but we're not doing that, you know. So when I think about these things, and I have that a lot, you know, I think about it a lot. So there is actually a song that I wrote one time. It's not out yet. And it's not done, but it's basically about, I could have been you, you could have been me. You know, that's the whole concept of the song. And it's just like, you know, why am I here and you there, you know? So and sometimes I even feel like, you know, when we see these things, most of the time we feel so sorry about these people. But I feel sometimes like we should be sorry. We should be feeling sorry as a believer. For example, I believe in Judgment Day. I should be feeling sorry about myself when I'm gonna meet my Lord in the day of judgment. You know, because we're not doing what we should, like what we're supposed to do. We're not doing enough, basically. So that's like when, you know. But again, you know, I feel like I want to do more, and I'm so happy that you know, you're on board, and alhamdulillah, you know, I thank God for all the chances and opportunities that we have in front of us, you know, and
we have lots more, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I remember when we did the one family trip, and talking to your team about kind of getting to know all the great work you've done.
Yes.
And I learned one fact about you. So you're the second biggest star in Sweden behind Zlatan.
I don't know. Like,
when I spoke to Sharif, he said mention it.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, in Sweden, like, I'm pretty much unknown, you know, and I love it. Like, I'm just so happy about it. You know, I just